Works on a television show out there. He co-hosts the noon show, which apparently takes place around 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock, yeah.
And he's also a musician, plays the organ on the show, and not unlike Skitch, he's a hobbyist. Skitch collects barber poles, right? Clocks, watches, old spinning wheels, hemp, you know, everything. This man's hobby is collecting vacuum cleaners. Do you know anybody else in the world who collects vacuum cleaners?
I can't bring their name to mind right now.
Would you let me know before the show? Would you welcome from St. Louis, Mr. Stan Kann. Stan? Ed knows nobody that collects vacuum cleaners right off Stan.
Well, you know, I don't either, and that's the trouble. There's nobody to exchange with.
Yeah, those meetings, the annual meetings, must be kind of lonesome.
Of what?
Is that strange? How did you get started on this kind of a gig?
8 years old, 9 years old, right around that time, I discovered that the sound of vacuum cleaners it was a thrill. It was the biggest thrill I could think of, you know. A little fellow, 8, 9 years old, and, well, at that age, it was the biggest thrill I could think of. And I'd go home from school. I'd come back and forth from school, and on the way, I'd hear a vacuum cleaner running, and I'd walk up to the door, knock on the door, and say, do you mind if I watch you run your Hoover? Or do you mind if I watch you run your Eureka, whatever it was, you know? And sometimes they'd let me in, sometimes they wouldn't let me in.
I wouldn't have let you in.
Well,
I don't mean that personal, but, you know.
Well, they got to know me, you see. And they say, here comes that nut Kann boy again. He wants to listen to your vacuum cleaner. And I got to the point where I actually could recognize, say, Hoover from a Eureka or a General Electric, whatever it was. And then I could find out if the machine was running correctly. I knew this, too. For instance, if it had a motor-driven brush and the belt wasn't working,
yes,
I could tell it. And I remember one day I was going to one of our big hotels in St. Louis, and I got off the elevator. I was maybe 10 then, visiting my grandparents, and we got off the elevator and walked along the hall. And here was the maid using a great big commercial-type machine with a big bag. And my ear told me that her belt wasn't working. Her belt was busted, so I stopped her.
I've been in that hotel, I guess.
And I said to her, do you know that the agitator's not running? And she turned her machine over, and sure enough, the cleaner was not operating right. But my ear told me, you see? My ear told me. And this is the way, it got to be a disease. And the folks didn't mind so much until I came home with one, then two, then three. And I'd go around the neighborhood, and I'd say, my mother wants to borrow your vacuum cleaner. Can I take it home so you can use it? Well, I did, but I'd keep it 4 or 5 days along with 5 or 6 others, and my mother wouldn't know which was hers, and this was what was bad, you know. So I began to realize women do not know and did not know their own vacuum cleaner. And I don't think many today know the kind they have, where it is, and whether it's in good condition. They don't care, really. I guess I did, but nobody else did.
No, you're very intense about it. Most.
Well, when I began with the collection and getting the machines, the original bags intrigued me. I had to have the original bag on the machine. For instance, some makes had a satin bag, and they were what they call side bags. That means they were mounted on the side. Now, other bags were rear bags, which went under the handle and back.
My God.
All different fabrics, you see. And, well, this was an important part of the collection. You have to keep it complete.
See, they're laughing. When you people don't know vacuum cleaners, it's easy to laugh. You know?
Well,
They laughed at Pasteur. But he went ahead and invented the...
What do you think?
The pasteurization. Stan, let me do this for a second. He brought along a collection of these vacuum cleaners tonight, and we'll take a look at them in a second. That's the wildest hobby I've ever heard of in my life. Stan, let's go over and take a look at some of these
all right,
memorable vacuum cleaners. What do we got?
Let's start with the pump type. Now, you know, before electricity, before electricity, this was the thing. Now, this was a thing for women not to be able to use a broom and spread the dust around. The woman grabbed the machine with her left hand, and with this, she would plunge. Now, the faster you plunge, you see, the faster you can plunge the machine, the more suction.
Kind of
Now, yes, now grab it with your right hand. This one is left-handed.
All right.
Now, grab. Now, the pump. No, you're not pumping fast enough, Johnny. You have to pump that. There you go. All right. Now, you see, it's not cleaning.
I noticed that.
Because, I'll tell you why I don't think it's cleaning. I think this little can is clogged. Oh. But if the can wasn't clogged,
it would clean.
You would get more suction, you would clean.
All righty.
I'll tell you what let's do. Let's throw a little of this angel's dirt here on the floor.
All right.
And, now, with that.
Remember the demo? Now, where's your electric plug?
Since we have gas.
Now, here are...
I hit the wood block.
Why don't you do something to help?
Oh, now, this one was called the grasshopper, Ed, because, you see, you had to go real fast. Now, the bellows connected to the wheel makes the suction, you see. This rug, it's a little bit...
I know.
But... Now...
That smooths it out very nice.
This one here is made by the... This was made by the Regina Company. They made music boxes.
That's my secretary's name.
When the music boxes went out of business, they went to vacuum cleaners, which they're still making.
Yes.
Now, this was one of the early canisters. Well, the handle...
But it cleaned great till it got away.
The handle's not supposed to come off. But the wheels make the friction. Now, prior to... This is what they had to do, you know. Prior to 1900, this came... Oh, look at me.
Oh, yeah.
This came from a little town in Havana, Illinois. This is a two-man operation. Now, in order to make this work, this is called a piston plunger cleaner. Now, you have a piston, which is plunged back and forth with a handle. And the dirt...
Hence the name, the piston.
I don't know where the dirt goes, Johnny. But anyway...
Who cares?
Now, I tell you what you do.
You want me to pump?
Yeah, you must get a hold of the handle.
All right.
And you put your foot on the footrest.
This is the
On the footrest, right. Now, you move your handle back and forth at great rapidity.
Go!
Yeah.
Go! Yeah! Hey, wait a minute, we got one,
Well, you remember they're very old.
Yes, of course.
And if this one...
Hey, now we're getting a little more modern.
No, this came a little later.
Came later.
This was around 1922. One of the features of this was made for the farm section, you know, the rural section, where electricity, again, was not to be had. Now, the motor, which it has, turns the what do you call it, the fan in the machine. And the faster you can get around the house, the more suction and the bigger your bag will blow up. Now, watch this.
Well, that turns the motor,
That turns the motor.
but you have to move pretty good
You must
clip.
realize, in a large, yes, you have to move a good clip. But in a large area, it's easy.
Oh, I
You see, being restricted to,
This, you can't really get up enough speed.
yeah, you can't get up enough speed, but you can imagine you can imagine the advantage over the broom.
Right.
All right, now comes our electric machine.
The electric machine.
This is, believe it or not, this is the first. Oh, I'm sorry.
That was called the Hernia 22.
I
remember that model. Yeah.
This is the first Hoover made, 1907. This was one of their smaller models.
Bag is...
I know. Incidentally, I might say this is an identical replica of the original satin bag. You see, the early cleaners used satin. In other words, they didn't have the kind of materials. They didn't hold dirt very well, but they looked nice.
We have to leave for a second, but we'll come back because we got a couple of more cleaners to show you. So stay where you are.
We're talking with Stan Kann and his magic vacuum cleaners. This is his hobby. There's a couple more.
Well, John, of all the 250 cleaners I have, this to me is one of the most interesting. You know, most vacuum cleaners have 2 ends, working ends, and this one has 3 working ends, which is unusual. You probably thought that the paper bag was something new. Throw away your bag, you know, dirt's in it, throw it out.
That's not new.
No. This is 1922, and would you believe that inside this machine is the first paper bag? Now, when the dirt got in the machine, I can't get it off the machine, you know. When the dirt... There. when the dirt gets in the machine, you simply take out your paper and throw away the bag. You see, your hands never touch the dirt.
Is that the original bag?
Well, it's one like the original bag because they only last a few months and they have to throw them in because they're full of dirt. Now, the machine, the reason why I say it has so many ends, you see, down here is the nozzle where, when the arrow, see, now here's a little window. On this little window, you can watch your dirt going through. When you don't see any more of dirt, you know you're through cleaning. You see, now when the arrow's pointing down to the bottom, you're cleaning from the rod. When you turn the arrow around this way, the hollow handle takes the suction, and you can get up and clean cobwebs. You go around the desk, and you see there's the hollow end. But every cleaner had a feature.
Then you see the dirt go the other way.
You see the dirt go the other way, right, and goes into the bag which we took off. And the reason we took it off, because this next little item is interesting. Every machine had to have something the others didn't have. Hair drying was a new experience. So with this particular vacuum cleaner, you went into your kitchen, turned on your oven, and you turn your arrow to your handle. Now you stick your handle in the oven, and you connect this. You needed the hot air from the oven, you see. Now, you connect your oven in your hand.
Which is, this is in the oven?
No, this is in the oven. You see, you remember the old ovens where the lids come down and
like the old Jewel stove?
Right. Now you catch it. You get a chair, and you sit next to your oven and your vacuum, and you take a bag.
Now, I'm sorry, but I don't have one of the original type bags because they're extinct. They're hard to get.
But you took a bag,
And you put the bag over your head this way, Johnny. Now,
if you could fasten it, you have to put a, what do you call this thing?
Rubber band.
Yes. Over your head, this way. Now, would you mind sliding it up over the paper? Over the bag. My nose and eyes should stick out. There we go. Now, like that. All right. Now, they used a more fiber bag since we don't have any. We have
now you stick the handle
now,
up.
would you mind making a... No. You have to make a hole in my head here. Right about...
Oh, I'll put it next to the other one.
Now, is that in?
Yeah.
All right. Now we'll pretend that the oven is right there.
The oven
you
is
turn on the
on.
machine.
How about that?
See? And
Oh, that's too much. Stan, this has been one of the most fascinating moments I've had on the show for a long time.
well, I thought I'd like the world to see what I've got.
And you're still looking for vacuum cleaners?
Still looking for them. People used to give them to me. Now they sell them to me.
Yeah.
But it's still fun.
Well, thanks for being with us tonight.
Johnny.
And we give our best to the folks in St. Louis.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Johnny.